Everyone, this is Mustafa from Kampala International University. The second point we are going to discuss is about the research variables. When we talk about the variables, this is the first thing like you need to understand if you want to do a research. After identifying the purpose of the research and the objective of the research, you have to understand what variables you are dealing with. This you do it through literature review or different methods, or maybe even when you come to do as a study, you find like the variables are already identified. So we have around five or six different types of variables. When we talk about the first one, which is the main, like when we talk about the study, the main variable in your study, okay, is a dependent variable. This is the study you are focusing on. This is the variable you want to understand the effects of other variables on it. Okay, so this is like the variables that you want to study, the effect of other variables on it exactly, or the main thing you are studying. Okay, when we talk about the independent variable, okay, so this is the variable that we want to like manipulate or edit its value, okay, or we assume that it has influence on the dependent variable, okay. So the independent variable has influence on the dependent variable, okay. If you compare, like we say, the cause and effect, the cause is the independent variable and the effect is a dependent variable. So the independent variable affects the dependent variable, or lead to either increasing its value or decreasing its value. The third type of variables that is most important is what is called the moderating variable. When we talk about the moderating variable, this variable intervenes between the independent and the dependent in order to influence the strength or direction of the relationship. When we talk about the strength of the relationship, that's mean the relationship between the independent and the dependent, is it strong or medium or low? Okay, so when you have a moderating variable, it affects, like maybe the relationship is medium, and because of the moderating variable can make the relationship strong, okay. And also it can change the direction, either positive or negative, between the dependent and independent variable. When we talk about positive relationship, that means when the independent variable increase, the dependent variable also increase, and vice versa. The fourth types of variables is the mediating variable. This is it's not it does not influence the relationship, but it can help you understand how or why the independent variable affects the dependent variable. Okay, it is like here, like a broker. Okay, if you have a broker, okay, it helps you understand why, it helps you bring the seller and the buyer together, okay, in order for each one to understand why it is important for him to deal with this buyer or deal with this seller. Okay, so it helps understand the relationship between the independent and the dependent variable. And also we have the control variable. This is the variable that the researcher keeps constant, okay, in order to prevent them from influencing the results, okay. Like now, if you talk about examples like age, so the dependent variable, if you have a dependent variable like psychological, trauma, okay, like maybe the trauma, children and old people experience trauma in different ways, okay. Maybe gender, if we talk about gender, like male and female experience trauma in a different ways. If you talk about the education level, maybe like educated people and non-educated people, even the level of education could affect, have different. So you need to keep the control variable constant in order to prevent it from influencing the results. The extraneous variable is similar to control variable, but we don't know exactly, it just come to the study, but we don't understand, or we don't predict from the beginning. So this is the types of